Oh my God. This guy is so evil and self-centered. Oh my God. Oh my God. I just don't believe it. It was awesome. It was evil. It was awesome. But it was evil. It's so hard to explain. I don't even know where to start. All right, let's see. Let's get this straight now. Chalice of Darkness by Sarah Rayne. Okay, so this guy, Jack Fix Glenn, finds a letter in his father's belongings. His father's been dead for about 10 to 15 years. And in his father's belongings is a letter written by this lady, Maude. And it's a thank you letter with a picture of her holding this golden royal chalice and a letter of documentation that says that she owns this building. What happened, so he goes, he's a theater guy, and he was going to do this big production about it. So he goes and discovers that she was from this place called Valos. So he goes to Valos to find out what happened. And there's so many, it took a while. It really took a while it was just so much. There's so much history and so many layers and so much. And you know that the thing about the two boys, the princes that were locked in the tower, that's in here too. It was just so overlaid. Oh, before I get started, please hit the like and subscribe. Welcome to the Deluise Book Series channel, Kristina, Kristina. Please hit the like and subscribe. Please let me know that I'm doing a good job. I'm just reading books, talking books. That's all I can do. So back to it's just, I wish, what would have made it a smidgen better was if they could have had a time frame. Because it was so hard to follow the time frame. It would have been good to know when Maude was happening versus now, because it was like then and now and then and now. But it would have been helpful to have some dates along the way to know when Maude was happening. So this guy is unable to hey Casanova, come over here. There you go. There's just so much. I'm trying to figure out how to start. This guy is unable to, he marries this girl for money, and he's unable to perform in the marriage bed, and he keeps his wife pretty much solitary confinement. He doesn't let her out. He doesn't let her socialize or anything. He keeps her under his thumb. He doesn't want to talking to anybody, seeing anybody, anything. He's like a control freak. He's like, ugh. And they go to this party. She convinces him to go to this party, and they go to this party, and while he's with some peoples, she has a romantic liaison. And up until this point, she didn't know what the bedroom activities were about. She just thought whatever he did, and that was it. But she didn't know that he didn't do it all the way. And so when she has this romantic liaison with this guy, she discovers that her husband doesn't do it. This person did it different. And she's not even sure who he was. She just did it. She wasn't even sure what was going on. So she did it. And as a thank you, this guy turns out to be the king or prince. And he sends her the chalice as a token of appreciation and a document that says she owns Bastille House. And it's so hard because you got to go back and forth. And this guy, Jack, is investigating. He's following the clues his father left him to investigate it. And he goes to the town and he finds the two houses. And he's like, I heard these houses for rent. And the guy's like, no. Saul's like, no, it's not for rent. And Saul recognizes Jack because it's discovered later that to cover up what he did, Saul killed Jack's father. But I'm getting kind of a little ahead of the story here. There's just so much I just can't fathom. So it turns out that the nurse, the lady's maid, Maude's maid, confesses to Saul that his wife is with child, and Saul knows that he doesn't perform that stuff, so he knows that his wife must have done something with this party, and he sets the whole thing up. It's unbelievable. He sets the whole thing up, and when he finds out about the maid, the Agnes lady, the really evil maid, she goes, there's something different in this room. This thing's been moved. And when they discover the thing's been moved, they open the chest up and they see the chalice and they see the deed. And Saul learns the whole 9 yards. So he realizes that the only ones that know the secret are him and the maid and the Aiden guy. So he has the maid do a secret rendezvous at the building, and he kills her. And then he burns the deed and hides the chalice. And then he sets Maude up to think that she killed the maid, and she gets Maude's evil aunt, who's money hungry, to come in and with him and witness the aunt and Saul, the husband, go and discover Maude on the ground next to the dead lady, and they convince Maude that she killed the dead lady and that she's insane and they really should put her in a sane asylum, but it would be bad for the family name and gossip, blah, 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 blah. So they confine her to one of the bedrooms in the tower of their house, and they leave her there for years and years, and she has the child, and they tell her the child died because they drugged her. They put her under laudanum. There is so many documents in here. There's so much to unpack. You've got to read it, and to find out. And once Saul finds out, once Jack goes to his house, he says he's Joseph somebody, but Saul knows that he killed Aiden, and Jack looks exactly like his father. So when Aiden shows up, Saul knows that this guy knows, and it's only a matter of time before Jack realizes or remembers that Saul was the guy that killed his dad. So Saul sets him up the same way he set Maude up and sends a letter saying, I'm the owner, different name. Please come to the Bastille house if you want to buy it. And he does the same thing to Jack that he did to the maid. And it's just, so you have to read it to find out what happens with Maude, what happens with Jack, what happens with Gus, his manservant, what happens with the 2 boys in the tower, what happens with the prince. There's just so much in here. It's so much to unpack, as they say. You've got to check it out. It's so awesome. It is so awesome. And poor Maude, you feel so bad for Maude, the whole book. And it wasn't even her fault in the beginning. And Saul is so evil. He ends up killing like 4 people to hide his secrets. It's just, he's so evil. And you can see, when you get to certain points where you could see it coming, you're like, oh my God, this poor woman. She's been made to suffer because she didn't know anybody, because she was an innocent little being. You've got to check this out. It is so awesome. And there's so much to unpack. I don't even... So please check it out. Sarah Payne, Rayne, Chalice of Darkness. The history and the legacy from the Chalice is just amazing. It's just absolutely amazing. You've got to check this out. It's so good. And please like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.